And then I said to the pastor, that's not... Right as we start.
Let's
Oh
go
my
down
God.
that rabbit hole.
No, let's
No.
not. Hey,
Hi, guys.
this is the final episode of the fucking season.
Oh, I was about to start singing the final breakdown.
You mean the final countdown?
No, the TikTok sound where it's the it's the final breakdown.
Da-na-na. I haven't had a good mentee bee in a minute. No, when was the last time I had a mental breakdown? I don't know. We're not talking about that, though. We're talking about fucking Nino and Chrissy's Q3 movie review, and I'm going fucking in on some of these fucking lame-ass movies we got in
so
Q3. Before we get started, Chrissy, do you want to say something?
I do. So this podcast is part of the YouRun Podcast Network, where you can find all sorts of fun and exciting podcasts just like ours.
Yes.
You can find their website down below in our show notes, and as always, you can follow them on Instagram at the YouRun Podcast Network. Alrighty,
Yes.
and with that being said, it's the final episode of season 1.
Welcome.
Welcome.
It's the final episode of season 1 of Paranormal Misfits Podcast.
Welcome to the Paranormal Misfits Podcast, where the curious roam, the weird feels at home, and horror is just another day in the office. I am one half of a spectacular guest, or spectacular host. Sometimes we guest on our own show.
Spectacular duo, maybe.
Duos. I'm Chrissy.
And I am the second half of this Guess Who game, only because it's a 2-player.
That's right.
What's up, everybody? It's Nino Daniel. Thank you for joining us, first and foremost, all season long.
Right?
With the rebranded Paranormal Misfits podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sticking around for the final episode, and a big thank you to YouRun Podcast Network for all that they have done for us.
Mm-hmm.
We do want to make a quick mention to look at our show notes. Make sure that you are following us on social media, subscribe, and give us 5 stars wherever you are listening to this podcast. It really helps us in the future, and also that support is free.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of aspects of support that are not free but are rather cheap in nature is purchase the merch. Click on the show notes, go to Paranormal Misfits Podcast, buy yourself a t-shirt, buy your cousin a t-shirt, buy your favorite elementary school teacher a t-shirt if they're still alive. And if you are a brand or business looking to get sponsorship opportunities with Paranormal Misfits Podcast, click on the show notes and email us directly at pmpsponsor@yahoo.com. That's Paranormal Misfits Podcast. So pmpsponsor@yahoo.com. And with that being said, we're about to go into the Q3 horror movie review.
Yes, we are.
I will also say, on the date of this recording, it is October 12th. It is officially 2 days since Terrifier 3 came out into theaters, and it's already made back 5 times its budget.
Yeah, I know. I was watching your Instagram story. I was like,
$15 fucking million in 48 hours. And to everyone listening, Terrifier 3 and the entire Terrifier franchise, it's an independently funded movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not backed by our friends who make the best horror movies over at Blumhouse. Just kidding. I think Damien Leone had a meeting with A24, with Blumhouse. And they said, here's what we want. And he said, nah, bitch.
Take what I got or leave
Here's what the fuck you get, bitch.
Right.
So, I did not get to watch as many movies as I wanted to this this quarter, right? Because of the trip to Bosnia. So yeah, did you watch anything fun, invigorating, or exciting?
Since we're in the month of October, I've been trying to make sure I've been catching 31 days of horror.
Ooh, and how that's
some days I watch 6. Well, I usually save it for the weekends, obviously.
Why are you like a mom?
Yeah, right. And my kids are asleep, and I'll just start binging. I usually average about 6 movies a weekend, so I've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say one of the ones that really surprised me was, let me go back to one of my profiles.
Oh my God. Before anything,
Mm-hmm.
I do want to tell you, I want to see your reaction, but I just got my press screening assignment
Yeah.
for
Okay. Yes.
Nosferatu.
Are you serious? Oh my God.
I'm seeing it like weeks before it comes out.
Oh, that's amazing. Let me know how it goes. Oh,
I will.
that'll be a fun kickoff to our new season.
Quarter one, yeah,
Right?
four review, yeah.
Quarter four
Oh, the
review of the
horror
season.
movie's coming out in quarter four. I mean, what kicked us off in quarter four? Was there anything before Terrifier? Or was that the kickoff?
That might have been the
I think that
kickoff.
was the kickoff. No, VHS Beyond, all of those things, like, anyways, okay, you'll get into that. What did you y'all, if you could see her face.
Oh my God. Okay,
I
so
heard it sucked. So,
okay. All right.
just get into it.
We are. So Ray and I, because it's on Shudder, right? Shudder's the one that decided, oh, we're gonna keep going with this fucking franchise.
And they paid for it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like Shudder financed it.
Yes. It's a Shudder original. So Shudder originals, just like Blumhouse, are a hit or a fucking miss. So my hot take on it is that it is not worth all its hype. It's not. Ray loves sci-fi.
Oh,
right?
this I know. We've talked about this.
A sci-fi route, right? And not to put a few content creators on blast, so I will not say their names, but they all raved about it.
They were probably paid.
A few who may have been at that one fest that you're talking about, you want to go to?
Fantastic Fest?
Mm-hmm. They were like a big group together. Most of them raved about it, saying how great it was. It was like one of the top 3 of the franchise.
Sorry?
Do not think so.
No.
I'm big on found footage. I love found footage.
Yeah.
This one, it was so fucking long.
How long was it?
I don't even remember. I felt like it went on for like 3 hours. I'm sure it wasn't 3 hours long, but it felt fucking forever. But so the way it's done this time, instead of it being found footage, it was more so along the lines of like a docuseries. So like they take this thing
2
of
hours.
like 2 hours. Oh my God, it felt like forever. They take this thing, and there's like, God, I think there were 5 stories. Well, 6 total, but 5 main, right? And Justin Long and his brother apparently did one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy and his wife was the main one. Kathy Siegel?
Katie Sagal?
She directed with her husband behind her. So Mike, what's his name? The one that made Haunting a Hill House and Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, and him.
So a heavy hitter.
It was supposed to be. Those things were so boring.
I don't
like it felt like forever getting to the point of each one. So I didn't like it. I was so pissed off. I did not like it. And then I caught some content creators who were like, yeah, it's a great movie. I did have to fast forward through some parts because some of them, then it's not a great movie if you have to fast forward.
Then it's not a great movie, babe.
Right.
Jesus.
I hated it. Ray hated it. One of the content creators said that the one with the dog episode, the dog storyline, was like a mixture between The Thing and something else. And it wasn't. Apparently they've never watched The Thing because it wasn't. Okay.
Whoopsie.
I hated it. I fucking hate it. It's so terrible. And they did it more like a documentary as opposed to found footage. In my opinion.
No, that defeats the purpose of the franchise.
So kind of like think of like Ancient Aliens. But they're using found footage of a guy they're talking about who has experienced alien encounters, extraterrestrial, whatever. I don't know. It was stupid. It was stupid. And the bad part was I was like, okay, so everyone's ranting and raving about it. Great. Because the other part, and I don't know why I did this to myself. We watched 2 movies in a row where I was stopped. I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, I need to go to bed. Like, once I hit like 2 in a row where I'm like, this is trash. Like, I'm
It's bedtime.
Tapped out. Yeah. So on top of that, Oddity is another one by Shudder.
Well, wasn't it. It was a shut.
Is it a Shudder? I think it's a Shudder original.
But it was in theaters for a minute.
For a minute, so it was a limited release.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was bad, but it was really predictable. Not in the sense of like there wasn't like a lot of like kills or whatever, but you can tell exactly how the storyline's written. You know that it's going to be the husband had plotted to have his wife murdered, and her sister, who is blind, comes to the house with like. Now I will say the creepy ass wooden mummified whatever fucking body it
Whatever
was.
the fuck that was.
Whatever the fuck it was, like that shit was creepy. It did have creepy factors, so I didn't mind it. Demon. There's another Shudder one that I was like, that was actually fairly impressive. What was it called? The Demon Disorder.
What was impressive about it?
So the Demon Disorder it kind of deals with the underlying tone to it. So 3 brothers who all have had a fairly rough past with their dad. Once what they deem as like being possessed by a demon. It's like Australian, I think. But what happens is that you don't like it could be a demon because like the body gore that went with it was fucking wild. But
come on, body gore.
I don't know. That one was good because like it kept you engaged. You know, you had 3 estranged brothers basically fighting each other. You had one of the younger brother who was trying to keep the 2 older brothers together who stopped them from fighting or whatever. You know, he's the next one to get possessed. It's almost like breaking family trauma. Because to me, whenever the dad made them make an oath to each other before whatever kicked in, to me it read that the dad may have been an alcoholic and potentially had dementia or like Alzheimer's because he was starting to forget things. But that was a wild movie. That was straight wild. I was actually really impressed with that one. Let's see what else I watch. Festival of the Living Dead. Have you heard of it? It's teeny bopper. No. Teeny bopper.
Like a popcorn movie?
Yeah, more for like your high schoolers or maybe even your junior high kids trying to get into horror and zombie movies. Okay. So this one, a group of friends go to a festival, and for some strange reason, someone's like, I'm going to snort this meteorite dust that just landed on the earth. And then that's how they all get possessed. It was wild. It was so dumb, but it was wild. Not nearly as dumb as that other one. Mousetrap.
And we just want to specify, Mousetrap is a movie that came out in early 2024. I think it was like literally January 1st. That's when Steamboat Willie went into public domain. And because of Steamboat Willie going into public domain, if you've seen Terrifier 3 already, there is a preview for a movie called
Screamboat.
Screamboat?
Okay.
Like Steamboat. Anyway, so what did I have already talked about this with ScaredyCast about my thoughts on Mousetrap.
So if you want to understand the various tropes that get thrown into a horror movie,
watch this movie.
Literally knocked each one there. Like out. Like boom,
every
boom,
single
boom,
fucking
boom.
trope.
Yes. Yeah, no, it made no sense to me. It was terrible.
That whole thing about where it like the lights flash and all of that.
We can scare them off with the flashlight that strobes. Like, what the fuck?
What we can do is this.
I can tell you, we decided to try and watch In a Violent Nature. Fell asleep.
Oh God, was it that boring?
Yes. Because I understand that it's like trying to give you the point of view of like the killer as he's like walking through. What I did learn from that movie is if you find something in the woods, don't fucking take it.
Truthfully speaking,
That movie would have been done in like 10 minutes.
honest to God, the movie should have been 10 minutes. The movie should have been an anthology. Like, let's call it what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Was there anything else I watched?
In a Violent Nature was like Q2, though.
Yeah, you had talked about it.
Damn,
that
bitch.
was one of your reviews, but like
I was like, keep it the fuck up, keep it current. No, she gets busy. I will say this though, with Chrissy, she gets busy.
Yeah, and I have kids that I can't exactly drag to the movie theater to go see some of these movies, so
unlike the parents who are dragging their kids to see Terrifier 3.
Can't do.
And there's like nudity in this movie, like nudity.
No. I like when Roland starts talking to people about like his little horror figures, like I immediately am like, just to let you know, like it's just a figure. He has never seen the fucking movies. Like I am immediate. I'm like, no. This kid's gonna be
I
like,
love Pennywise.
Right?
Did you see Salem's Lot?
I haven't watched it yet. I'm like,
I haven't either.
It.
I'm iffy too. I've heard so, but teetering mostly positive.
Yeah.
Sorry, my like chair in the background is making all the sounds.
It's okay. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I watched? So Oddity was okay. Daddy's Head. That shit was wild. That's another Shudder. Just came out. I honestly don't know. I mean, from what I've seen, what other people have talked about, it's using the idea of a mimic. I don't know if that's a demon or
sort of like Babadook.
No, more like
no. Babadook wasn't. Babadook was a manifestation.
Mimic is like what is that? What's that one Jordan movie?
Get Out. Us.
No, not that one. Us. So like that. But so the idea of that one was it does take the idea of the Babadook of dealing with your grief, where there's a child and a mother, but more so a stepmother. So the dad dies in a terrible car wreck. He had just gotten married. So this lady and this son and his son that she will end up taking custody of, but she wasn't sure if she wasn't sure if she wanted custody of, deal with like grief in their own ways. But fucking the mimic creature was wild looking. It looked like Gollum with the dad's face like all crouched down and moving like, oh my god. Like it wasn't overly gory. It did really good on building up suspense. It did make you. One of the main critiques I had for the Babadook was while the kid was great at acting like a little asshole through his own grief, that kid hit a shrill scream that I could not stand. This kid, on the other hand, I think he's a little bit older, but man, he clocked her dead in her jaw during one scene because she was like, no, we need to leave. Because there's this big, like, makeshift, I don't even know what the fuck to call it, made out of wood sticks of the forest or whatever, like hut or something, where the mimic is staying and trying to talk him into coming in there. And she's like, no, I don't like this. Like, we need to go. And he, like, literally freaks out on her, the boy does, and, like, clocks her in her jaw.
Like punches?
Yes. Like, lip bleed punches.
I'm gonna see if I can find anything on it. That's abuse.
It was interesting. I liked that movie. That one was good.
She said, you know what? It was good.
It surprised
Parental abuse.
Mr. Crockett on Hulu, guys. Takes part in the 90s. He's like a weird, like if Mr. Rogers had like a mental breakdown.
It would be Mr. Is it worth the watch?
I think so.
Okay.
This is another one where it deals with grief. Mother, son lose their husband. She loses her husband to cancer. Boy's not dealing with it very well. She's trying to deal with it. She's a single African-American mom in the 90s. In Pennsylvania, I want to say. But it's a tape. It's a VHS tape that circulates through the neighborhood. And the idea behind Crockett is that he looks for kids who are in distress, whose parents aren't meeting to his standard, or the kids are like, my parents are so mean, my parents are so this, my parents don't love me kind of thing, right? Because he stole over the years, God, like 10 or 12 kids. Mr. Crockett was a show in the 70s, and he had noticed, he tells his story, which I was so thankful for, because that's the only thing I told Ray. I was like, if they don't tell the story of why this man lost his mind and how he ended up making himself a demon, like, I will be mad. But he does. He explains his story. And that actor, fucking creepy. Like, he did great keeping that creepy, like, scary smile of like the children's show type of thing, and like his hellish nightmare of a world. Like, you see it, but the kids don't see it, because he essentially possesses them. But it was good. I think that one's really worth its watch.
How long is it about?
90 minutes.
That's dense for 90 minutes with what you just shared. Okay.
No, it was good though. It kept moving, like piece. Like there wasn't. Yeah. So I really liked that one. And it was set in like 1993, 94, I think is the years that they were quoting on it.
When the gas prices were good.
Gas prices. Milk wasn't like, $173. Other than that, that's really all I've, like, ones that I think are worth like talking about and watching. I've watched some that have been out for a while, so.
Okay.
Yeah. You ready to kick off yours? You ready?
Yeah, I'm going to go through 3 out of the 10, and then we're going to do our little YouRun break.
Okay.
Starting off, as you guys know, I rate my movies. I should have rated them on 5 aspects. I only rated them on 4, but each 4 of them rates into the 5th one, because the 5th aspect is always directorial choices. However, I rate on script, acting, storyline, and cinematography, and that is all also directorial in a way. So we're going to kick it off with Maxine, directed by Ty West, starring Mia Goth. Loved hearing some of the kick-ass 80s lines in the script when she's followed down a dark alley and she's like, "Drop it, Buster." I was like, oh, this bitch is fucking ferocious. And then she heel stomps on a guy's dick.
Holy fuck.
Did you not see it?
I haven't seen it. You remember, I don't really go to the movies. I have to usually wait until everyone starts streaming.
I went to an A24 sponsored press screening. Just kidding. I really, really, really loved the script in this one. It was because it was so easy to follow. The lingo was perfect, and I really think that Ty West's pocket for picking up these movies is literally in that mid 70s to mid 90s pocket, because he really hits those well.
Yeah.
I'm sad that there's not going to be another one, or so we think.
But is it good to end on a good note where it's at?
If this ends where it ends, it's great, but there's the opportunity for a 4th one.
Okay.
So, Ty West even said, he's like, let's wrap up this era before we start. The acting was it was above good.
Okay.
So for me, if I say mediocre just is like, it was above good. Mia Goth was fantastic. I did not know she's British. You would never know she's British. Her American accent, stupendous. Kevin Bacon was good. However, Halsey and her accent changes throughout the movie. She has one scene, one continual scene. Her accent changes. So to do an every dead girl in Hollywood.
Couldn't she just kept her own natural accent? She's from the north.
She's from the New York area. She could have just kind of amped it a little bit. The other thing I was also going to say is that Lily, I think, was it Lily Collins? I don't fucking remember. The girl who plays another actress in the movie, during one scene, she does an Irish, British, and borderline Australian accent. And I was like, how did no one clock this? So Ty West, if you're listening, let's fix that. But yeah, acting was good. The lady who played the director, stunning work. Probably for me, as strong as Mia Goth.
Oh.
Storyline, it was a really great follow-up to X. I
Mhm.
felt like it was a seamless transition, and they make it so to where it is a seamless transition. The actions of Maxine are quick and grip you very well. There's some squeamish moments too. Obviously, the heel in the dick. And the compacting of Kevin Bacon's character in a junkyard while he's sitting in a car.
Ooh.
That was great. Oh yeah, also spoilers for everything if you haven't seen these movies. This also, the script was very much Ty West's fuck you to Hollywood, because
Okay.
you can tell that he wrote himself into the role of the director in the movie. Not obviously he's the director of the movie, but there is a director, like
Mhm.
an actor playing a director in the movie, and the movie is called The Puritan or something, The Puritan 2 or something. Yeah, cinematography wise, y'all know, if y'all don't know this by now, I am a whore. I'm a slut. I'm a little slut for some good exterior
cinnamon.
shots.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon, yeah, cinnamon. There we
Cinnamon.
go. I'm a slut for cinematography. I'm a fucking glutton, like literally, more daddy, but like I'm a slut and a whore and a fucking kink for a solid exterior natural cinematography shot. Bitch, I'll fuck hawk tit and spit on that, like literally me. So the exterior shots of LA were fantastic. The interior ones were a bit forgettable, but then again, Ty West did a great job like color paletting everything to the 80s, except for Maxine's apartment
Mm-hmm.
had these like bright aspects, and then like some of the other offices were like a little bit more muted. And then I don't know, it was just like there was a part where they go into the restaurant, Kevin Bacon as the investigator and Mia and obviously Maxine. That was like some good interior shots. That one was memorable. The video store was memorable too, those like 80s colors palettes.
Ooh.
So Maxine, overall, out of the 5 ghosts I could give it, I comfortably give Maxine a full 4.
Very nice.
So moving into Long Legs.
One that everyone talked about for like how fucking
One
long?
one that people are still comparing. People are comparing Long Legs and Terrifier.
Oh, okay.
Mind you, Terrifier is gore porn. Long Legs is psychological horror. I would
Okay.
actually classify it not as a psychological thriller, psychological horror. It does a really great job. Script was more on, so this is again for Long Legs. Script was more on the innovative side.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the words I was like, okay, but it wasn't bad. But it kept true to those police detective tones, which I appreciated, hence the nature of the film, because the entire film is essentially a police hunt.
Right.
Like the base of the film is a police hunt, and that's great. It does really well. Micah Monroe, holy shit, if you've seen her in It Follows, she was giving us memes all summer long with taking pictures with the Long Legs poster in like different, in the same pose but different outfits. She's so stunning. She played Lee Harker, I think was her name. Her accent was so good.
It's in
So
Canada, right? Like, isn't that where they base it? In Canada?
mm-mm.
No?
They base it in, no, not in Canada, but like North US, like
Like Washington area?
yeah, like
Okay.
it's like the Dakotas kind of like there. So I think
Okay.
um yeah, script was that like, and then the whole like the opening sequence verbiage, the "let me in now and it can be nice," that was really fucking good. Osgood Perkins, who played the nerdy guy. So mind you, Osgood Perkins, prior to becoming a director, he was an
Legally
actor himself.
Blonde.
Legally Blonde, he played the tall, kind of heavier set nerdy guy
Mm-hmm.
who picks up Elwood's book from the top shelf as she is about to go into the court and to negate mens rea and all that shit.
Yes.
So shout out to him. And then he also directed Monkey Man.
The one that's about to come out with the monkey, or like the toy
It
monkey
already
in
did.
his.
It already.
It already
Oh
did
no,
come
yeah,
out?
no. You're right. It is coming out. No, that's right. That's a
Okay.
Q4. Um, Acting, Nicolas fucking Cage. Looking like Vicky Gunvalson from Real Housewives of Orange County.
Oh,
That
God.
was, I swear on God's green earth, I was like, why does Nicolas Cage look like Vicky Gunvalson? Anyways. That was some of the best acting from Nick Cage that I've seen. And if you've been paying attention to cinema, we've had a Nicolas Cage renaissance.
He's been going into horror as opposed to like his like action-y movies.
Action comedy, because like I think the last one that was like action comedy that he did was Renfield.
Yeah.
And then he transitioned into horror. And Nicolas Cage is
doing pretty well, yeah.
That's a horror actor, if you ever ask me. Micah Monroe, fuck yeah. Further cementing herself into the Scream Queen status. Love that for her. Her facial microaggressions are like not microaggressions, microexpressions, I'm sorry. Some of the best I've fucking seen. Stop. Some of the best I've fucking seen in the industry. Some of the best I've fucking seen in the industry. The storyline was incredible. I was genuinely afraid at certain parts. There was the part where they capture Longlegs and then he kills himself.
Oh.
And he kills himself in the police detainment thing where he bashes his head into a desk.
Oh my God.
And literally like dies. Oh. The two words I had for the cinematography, harrowing and captivating.
Very nice.
Just an incredible movie, and it's also psychological horror. But the other thing I've noticed this year, and I've been paying attention to this, religious horror is a theme this year.
Yes.
We had prayer and faith, Pope's Exorcist, prayer and faith-basedness also went into Imaginary as well.
Yep.
We had The First Omen, we had Immaculate. There was a little bit of faith and religion in Tarot, even though that movie was god-awful and it sucked ass.
Exorcist Believer was one
Exorcist Believer was one that came out this year too. That was a good one. It was very much religious horror took the cake this year. Yeah, so far, Longlegs overall score 4.15 ghosts out of 5. It could have gone a little further.
Yeah.
I would have loved if the movie was about 4 minutes longer so it can kind of tell us what it sets up for a possible sequel, if at all.
Or a prequel, because
or a prequel, because and the fact that the mom, Lee Harker's mom, was housing Longlegs in her home.
Yes.
Why, bitch? Give me more. Why did that happen? They did give you like a precursor of like
a little bit of information.
A little bit of information because they shunned Longlegs away from trying to kill Lee, and the mom was like, "Well, to spare my daughter's life, I'll become your servant."
So, is it more like a cult? Is he like a cultish kind of leader?
Yeah, it's like a culty kind of thing. They teeter on that. It's demonic possession, religious like experimentation, cult leader, but it's the amount of gore in the movie is perfect.
That's good.
The way that it's set, it's a true psychological horror, not thriller horror.
Yeah.
It does have psychological thriller elements, but it's a fucking horror movie.
Right. Well, it's going to have the thriller because of the cop part.
Of course. Yeah. And I feel like any cop movies usually have a thriller. That's how you get a thriller element. The final one before we go to break.
Okay.
Is Cuckoo. Sat back on this one and reflected. Yeah. First movie that I saw coming back from Bosnia literally was Cuckoo.
Right.
Script for me, it was a bit weak, to be honest. I don't know if they wanted Hunter Schafer's character to kind of have this like aloof undertone. I didn't like that. Just personal preference. I feel like we can't have like a partially dumb heroine. I don't know. Call it what it is. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up when like the final girls were fucking smart.
Oh yeah, they were.
I grew up on like the Laurie Strodes and the Sidney Prescotts of the world.
They fought for life.
They fought for life. And Hunter Schafer did.
Just not
to the fullest extent.
Okay.
Acting was above mid. So write it good. I would put it, acting was right at good.
Okay.
I do think Hunter Schafer does a wonderful job, but this being Hunter's first horror movie, she's going to need a little support moving forward. I am not on the bandwagon of everyone calling Hunter Schafer a Scream Queen. I think we have to get at least 5 or 6 more movies under our belts, and you have to kind of like, to me, being a Scream Queen is being synonymous with a genre.
Mm-hmm.
The same way we look at Rebel Wilson and we say, oh, she's a comedian, or the same way we look at Melissa McCarthy and say, oh, she's a comedian. Jason Statham is an action star. Sidney Prescott, Scream Queen. Quite literally, the Scream Queen. Hunter Schafer, babe, love you so much. I need about 4 movies from you. This
With
one
range.
was with range. I need like a Christmas one. I need like a fucking summer one. I need a religious one. Like, you gotta, and even if you look at Sidney Prescott, if you look at Neve Campbell's range, yeah, she has Scream, but she also had like
The Craft.
The Craft, which was partially religious. She also had Wild Things, which not so much.
It was more like a thriller.
More thrillery, but still. And then she's done kind of like the comedy thing with like Party of Five, like, so she has range. Storyline, to be honest, it was confusing.
So what is the premise of it again? You're like, how do I put this?
Something about a bird. Something about a cuckoo bird and reproductive and cult. It's like a reproductive cult.
Okay.
Is what I got for. I could literally be. I just realized there was one movie I didn't add on here, and it was Never Let Go.
I mean, you can still talk about it.
Remind me again after the break, and I'll do Never Let Go quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. I literally did not know what the fuck was going on in this. I'm so serious. Like, and I feel like our audience.
Like that.
I feel like our audience knows this. I feel like my followers know this. I'm very attentive to a movie. Like, I go in there with the full intent of like, be open, listen. Oh my God. That's why I am one of the few who loved Joker Folie à Deux. Because I fucking got it. I got it before the movie. So I got it during the fucking animated intro. Knew what the movie was going to be about during the animated intro. My husband, suck ass. He's like, oh, I hated it because it was a musical. I'm like, you're thinking about it too fucking, like, you're literally doing exactly what the director wants you to do.
So the thing is that like before it came out, it was known that it was going to be a musical.
We knew a year ago.
Yeah. So to be like, it's not because it was like
people recorded this shit. Like, people literally leaked footage.
Yeah.
Like, come on, really, folks? Should we be that surprised? Anyways, I think I literally I felt that I needed a science lesson on what the actual fuck was going on, but in that aspect, it aided into my appreciation of the film.
Okay.
Cinematography, again, I'm a sucker, I'm a glutton, I'm a whore, I'm a slut for nature shots, which is why I loved In a Violent Nature, because if you remember my review, I literally remember saying the cinematography in A Violent Nature,
nice.
The way it's video game, it's like video game character aspected, loved that. This, I loved the nature shots, loved the exterior shots, very good color palette on the interior. I literally put the color palette work was, and then I left it blank, which means I obviously think it was good. The color palette, the color grading on this one was very good. They gave you those like natural like browns, greens, blues. Right, yeah. They had like the reds for standout. They had like tonal beiges and everything. Like, they had really good cinematography, really, really good color palette. We are gonna get into Never Let Go. And the other ones that I have, the other 8 that I have now. We're going to take a quick break. But before we do, make sure to go into the show notes, purchase the merch. It helps us out. We're trying to go to New Orleans. And feel free to go ahead and subscribe and follow and give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to this podcast. And of course, if you're a brand or business looking to gain sponsorship opportunities with Paranormal Misfits Podcast, email us at pmpsponsor@yahoo.com. We'll be right back. And we're back. And one thing about our breaks is they're 5 seconds.
That's right.
Okay, so I want to get into Never Let Go.
Okay.
which
That was the Brandy movie.
no, that was the Halle Berry movie.
Oh, that was the Halle Berry. Okay.
Yeah, Halle Berry did great. The kids did great. Acting was great. Cinematography was okay. Color grading was blue, brown, green because it was nature. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. This storyline is where you lost me, kid. You're tethered to this house made of love. Another religious horror. Another religion. Like, it's, again, religious horror took the cake this year. You're telling me that you are able to venture out into the woods, and you must have a long ass fucking piece of rope.
I was gonna ask. Like, it has to be
long. Like,
yeah.
Like, it seemed like it was miles. Because, keep in mind, that's how they gather their food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, first of all, who the fuck cleared the fact that we're going to put Black families tying themselves with rope? I'm like, aren't we past that? Didn't we have history lessons on why that didn't work? Crazy. I don't know. I feel like we're in the reparations phase. I feel like we're past that. Something about the concept of them having to find food within only a certain range.
In a certain time period, right?
In a certain time period. And I was like, well, yeah, of course you're going to run out of food.
All the time.
Of course, like, animals and all of these things are not going to lay their eggs in areas where they know you're going to hunt.
But they had land, so wouldn't they have, like, gardened?
It was set right before the winter started. So it was, like, pre-autumn, then it goes into winter, and then spring. Didn't really like the storyline, because come to find out, it was a movie about an alien.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, at the end, you find out it was a film about an alien who infects people with hate, and the only way to break through it is to show it love.
That sounds like a kid horror movie.
It was god-awful. Okay. I'm sorry.
And yeah, Halle Berry, the one movie I loved her in was Gothica.
Oh, but also Halle Berry's, like, action thriller. Like, that's her pocket. She did, what was it, 911? She did... That's about it. I don't think that this one was it for her. I think her acting, superb. She's it's Halle fucking Berry. What the fuck are you, what do you know? Anyways. Really quick. Cuckoo gets 3 solid ghosts.
Okay.
Not Blink Twice. Never Let Go, like
2.
Generously, like 2. Generously. Moving into Blink Twice.
I have heard so many good things about this one.
Fantastic fucking movie. One of my favorites. One of the only ones that's not based on religious horror. It's an allegory to P. Diddy, though.
Whenever you were explaining it, I was like, what the fuck?
It's an allegory to P. Diddy because, bitch, the fucking everyone wears white.
Yeah.
They dine in white clothing.
And people are getting drugged.
And raped.
Yeah.
Like, and it's women, too. Like, rich men are drugging and raping and killing and sacrificing women. This is an allegory to P. Diddy. So, well written. Very well paced. Oh my god. So again, looking at the script, well written, very, 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 very well paced. I think the movie was just shy of 2 hours. I think it was like an hour 50.
Okay.
It gave room for so much development. It gave room for such good backstory. And it made me anticipate what was coming.
Very nice.
I love when a script does that. Acting was superb. Superb acting.
I was worried because Channing Tatum wasn't always known for.
Channing Tatum should look into doing a little bit more of these psychological horror routes.
Oh, okay.
And I say horror because the third act is a borderline bloodbath.
Oh my gosh.
It was humorous when it was called for, but it kept tonal to the script.
Very nice.
Like I'm going to get into the cinematography first before I get into the storylines. Zoe Kravitz did her big one.
This was her directorial, right?
Directorial debut. There was one shot where they have they finally show the house that they're going to be staying in, and they did like a wide shot, and they showed the house from left to right, top to bottom. It was in full frame, and I'm like, that's magic.
Oh, very nice.
The lighting was perfect. The color of the house was perfect. Zoe Kravitz did her big one on this one. Zoe Kravitz is married, engaged to Channing Tatum.
Engaged, I think.
Engaged.
I think so.
You can definitely tell this is a fuck rich white men, I hate rich white men movie. But also you're married to one. So also your dad is wealthy as tits. So comment down. Like, I also remember the industry you work in, but you know, comment the fuck down. That would be my little, the allegory to Diddy, which is a rumor that's going around, is on par with what's going on with Diddy, and what Zoe Kravitz probably knew some shit. So did Channing. So did everyone else. Naomi is her name, right? No, not Naomi.
Main character?
Yeah, not Naomi, but like, what is her name? I should have had this pulled up, but I didn't. Oh my god, hold on. She did fucking amazing. Naomi Ackie. I was right. Naomi Ackie. Fuck. So good. The plot twist. So going back to the storyline, I was glued to the screen. Glued. From start to fucking finish, glued. I enjoyed every aspect of this movie, top to bottom, left to right. The plot twists went until the very end.
Oh, that's awesome.
The plot twists go until the last frame.
I heard something about the venom counteracts the drugs that they were giving
which is why they're getting rid of the snakes. So what they were doing is they were finding these garden snakes. The girls were, and they just kept drinking the venom, and they had to pretend like they were drugged. And it was in the food, it was in the fragrance that they were being given. Naomi, right? The lipstick, and in the fragrance, yeah. So Naomi Aki's character was there. She was there prior. She was there
a bunch of times.
Yeah, it opens up with her like with this like chameleon or iguana, whatever that little animal is that can like wind its tail into like a cinnamon roll.
Like the one from Tangled?
Yeah.
A chameleon.
It opens up with a chameleon, which I'm like,
interesting.
Good call. Come to find out that Naomi Aki's character developed a scar on her temporal like part of her head because she was trying to escape Channing Tatum's character, and he grabbed her by this like loose part of her dress, and she tugged it tight, and he let it go, and she fell. Ooh. And then he raped her in the movie as an actor per the script. Yeah, really, really good movie. I would say comfortably 4. There's only one movie this year that I've seen so far that gets 5 or above, and I'm saving it for last, and I think we all know what it is. We'll get to it later. Milk and Cereal, a YouTube release.
I was about to say that's the YouTube one everyone was like.
Micro budget, $800.
Wow.
Script wise, given its budget, good.
Okay.
You can tell college kids wrote this. You can tell people who are trying to break into the industry wrote this. And that's great. That's what we want. We want squeaky wheels. We need more. If everyone remembers correctly, just to kind of tell you this, Damien Leone's Terrifier 1 was made on a $35,000 budget, and the movie made $85,000. Terrifier 2 was crowdfunded, had a budget of $250,000, made $14 million by the end of the month of its run. Wow. Terrifier 3 had a $2.5 million budget. It just hit $15 million. So independent horror just goes to places where mainstream just won't.
Right.
Due to the limitations. Acting was above mid, but then again, it's a YouTube movie. You can tell some people are actors playing a part versus characters. Storyline was great, excellent pace for a movie that's barely 60 minutes. Right. And it's actually, they cover a lot.
And okay.
They cover a lot in 60 minutes. You knew who the killer was because of the poster.
Right.
And he tells you why he's the killer. Like, he expresses it. Cinematography is a nope.
Is it because it's like YouTube? Do you think it's just because of quality of YouTube?
I'm sorry, but I understand the certain shots they were trying to get. It's just like, okay, if I put into consideration their budget, decent. Grand total though, 3.25 ghosts out of 5. That's what it gets.
That's pretty good for YouTube.
That's pretty good for YouTube. We got a couple more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. I'm gonna blaze through these.
Okay.
All right. Per my Facebook supporter, Kenneth Boozer. Shout out to Ken.
Hi.
Alien Romulus. Script. And the script was a key factor for me as it held so much of the pace of the movie. I'll be honest, though. The movie could have been 15 minutes shorter and still gotten the point across.
Okay.
I was like, do we really? Like, the Slender Man fucking looking thing coming up at the end. Like, do we need all of this? Isn't it a little superf? Like, acting, stunning. The rent for these actors was due. Literally, direct quote. No one felt out of place, and the chemistry between characters was visible and natural. Again, you know me. I love when things look natural.
Yes.
Storyline. I love the aspect of escaping to a new and better world, but in that format, maybe that's where it fell for me.
Okay.
And to risk death. Smart friend in a horror movie, say what? I mean, as a viewer overall, I loved it. Cinematography, considering the vast majority of this movie is CGI AI. Did you see Afraid?
What's Afraid?
Afraid, like AI, like Afraid. The one with like that home security system thing.
No, was that...
It's a Blumhouse. It was literally in theaters for a week and a half.
Was that the one with the guy from
Missing?
Okay.
Or Searching or something?
Harold and Kumar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
No, I didn't watch it. I heard it was more of a teeny bopper, and I was like,
a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
Cinematography, though, for Alien Romulus, considering the vast majority of this movie was CGI AI, that's good. And I mean, respectfully so. They're filming in space. You're not going to fucking go and take $1 million camera into actual space.
Now, I did see the basketball player they picked up to play the alien.
Oh my God, when I found out that was a real fucking person and none of it was CGI. Oh my God, when I found out he was literally like in makeup the entire time, I was like, how the hell did they picked up some like Romanian whatever basketball player,
like
dude?
7'2" or something?
He's like 7'2", and that's a real person. That's his body.
Yep.
Y'all are, that's what got it for me. And because of that, I gave it 3.5 ghosts.
Very nice.
Otherwise, without that fact, it would have sat at like 2.75. Strange Darling, Willa Fitzgerald, Kyle Gallner. We know Kyle Gallner from a variety of movies: Jennifer's Body, Scream 5. And then wasn't Willa Fitz on the Scream TV show? Maybe, possibly.
Maybe.
Can't remember. I can't either, but I will say this. Strange Darling, script-wise, very modern day and relatable. I think that's because the storyline is true, and it happened about 3 to 5 years ago.
Huh.
It started, the Electric Lady Killer started during the height of COVID.
Oh.
So that's it's based on the Electric Lady Killer. You can literally look this up.
Okay.
If you want. Acting. Kyle Gallner can literally do things to my body that whatever he wants to do. As an actor, I was like, fuck yeah, daddy.
Oh, your husband must love listening to our show.
Oh yeah, he's like, are you still married to me? Yeah, but also like Kyle Gallner is not my hall pass.
No, right.
I think I've mentioned it before, but just on the last episode of PMP, Idris Elba is my hall pass. Luther. Willa, and I said, Willa can get it twice. Like, that was fucking acting. Loved them. They were so good. Such good body language and chemistry and micro movements in their physicality and their facial expressions. 4.15 ghosts.
Okay.
Cinematography. Cinematography. Lots of exterior nature shots. Lots of great interior shots with purposeful lighting. Keywords, purposeful lighting. Really, really good movie. Kyle Gallner has been championing it on Twitter. What's his face? Not Wiz Khalifa. What's the other one? Kid Cudi.
Okay.
Kid Cudi bought out an entire theater, so people can go watch it, and it's a really freaking good movie. It really is. I was glad I got to see it. I was sad it was a limited release. It was 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't get to see Stream because that comes from the producers of Terrifier. The executive I think that's Phil Falcone's movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And I didn't get to see it because it was, I'm not even kidding you, it was in theaters for 72 hours.
Yes, I remember that.
It was Sunday to Tuesday and it was gone. I was like, but I think it's coming out on Prime.
I'll have to look. I think
so I'll watch that. I'll watch that and probably put that into Q4.
Okay.
Yeah. Strange Darling, fantastic. Okay, we're going to go through these next two in a blaze because I want to save the bulk of time for the last one.
Sounds good.
The Front Room, the script was mediocre. You've got so much great talent on the screen, and it was on a mid-level script with god-awful pacing.
That's the Brandy movie.
That's the Brandy one. That fucking the script sucked actual ass, and you could tell Brandy fucking hated this movie. I'm sorry. She did no publicity for it.
I've seen clips of it on TikTok, and I was like, really? That's what
she did no publicity for it. There's no marketing for it. There's no push for it. There was nothing for this movie. That's what pissed me the fuck off.
Who?
Like you have Brandy and Brandy. Bitch, Brandy, you have Cinderella in your fucking... You have Moesha. You have the woman who's responsible for what about all of the things that you said? Mm-hmm. What about all promises you made me? And you gonna do her like that?
Yeah,
and it's earlier that year, though, she did come out with Descendants 4, The Rise of Red. And... I mean, it's just Brandy is an angel of, even though that's Monica.
A24 made it.
That was.
That's who.
Mind you, A24 also did Maxine.
I know.
But also, I think A24's success of Maxine is attributed to Ty West and Mia Goth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, keep going.
I don't even want to get into the Front Room. I have the poster. I went to the PR screening. I loved it. Shout out to Allied Global Marketing. Shout out to Frost Communications. Shout out to Fonz PR. The Front Room sucked. The acting was... Brandy did well and the mom did well. Everything else sucked. Or like the grandmother, like the old lady. She did very well. Storyline, boring and predictable. And what's the one word I hate in a horror movie? Predictable. Mm-hmm. We learned this about me. I knew Brandy's character was going to kill the mom. You can tell like there was a psychosis piece that was like, I don't know if I can handle it. And then it was a religious horror.
A religious or a racial horror? Because like
religious racial horror.
I was about to say, because wasn't the mom mad that he basically married?
An
African American. Oh God. I hate those.
And then religious in the fact that they were trying to second coming of Jesus the baby. Religious horror took the fucking cake this year. I swear to God, can next year be like slashers? Can we do slashers next year? You know what we can do though? On February 27th, 2026, we can see Scream 7 in theaters.
There you go.
So yeah, Front Room, storyline, cinematography was let me know when you find it. I'm sorry, that like the best part of the movie was probably the color palette of the Front Room.
Oh jeez.
That pink, rosy, innocent, white color, great. Mm-hmm. Everything else, it was not memorable. It was probably memorable because I hated it.
Well, we always remember the things we really don't like.
2.10
That's
ghosts.
really generous, don't you think?
Brandy. My name is Belinda. That was fucking the best line in the fucking movie was in the trailer.
Oh no.
Okay, moving on. I just want to get this movie done and over with.
Go for it.
Trap. The script was ass. The acting was shit. The storyline was garbage, but at least it kind of smelled good. It's kind of like those Glad bags that have like a pre-perfume on them.
Yes.
The cinematography was nepotismed. 2/3 of the movie is literally a concert for his daughter. If you watched Trap and you watched that scene where Lady Raven and Josh Hartnett's character are in the car together, that was the worst fucking acting from Lady Raven's part. Mind you, that's M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. His youngest, I believe.
I love some Josh Hartnett because he used to be really good in the early 2000s with his horror
Josh
movies.
Hartnett.
30 Days a Night.
He held it together though. I mean, he did well. He's responsible for why the movie in my book gets 2.25 ghosts out of 5.
I mean, he's
just, and this is an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and earlier
So
we had The
that's the
Watchers, and I desecrated that shit earlier.
No, that's not M. Night Shyamalan though.
No, it's his daughter. It's his
Right.
eldest daughter, but it's still through Blinding Edge Pictures. It's M. Night's production company.
Well, here's the thing though. So like what I've noticed about him, he is either a hit or a miss.
Or a miss.
And like when it misses, it misses.
Like Old,
it's not even like a
good.
slight. I loved Old.
Was good.
Yes.
Old was his last hit.
I was about to say, because I tried that, what is it, Knock in the Cabin in the Woods or whatever it's called?
Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin. Like I tried.
And that was him, right?
Yeah, that was his. That was his.
That's another religious horror.
Mm-hmm. Culty religious. They're supposed to be like the 4 horsemen or whatever.
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't mind David Bautista, but I just like it was a boring movie.
Have you seen what he looks like now?
I have. He's trying to lose weight so he can fit into different roles.
Yeah, because he was getting typecast, and I don't think I was like, does that mean you're not doing Guardians anymore? I don't know. Knock at the Cabin was good. I was glad to see Rupert Grint in a fucking movie.
Yes.
Not that he needs it. He can live off of Harry Potter for the next 7 generations.
Right.
Notice how I said 7. Horcrux. M. Night Shyamalan for me is like the last good sequence of movies he had was, what is it? Unbreakable, Split, and what was the other one?
Oh my god. Fuck.
Split was the last one.
Split was James McAvoy.
No, Split, and then it was
I thought there was another one that kind of tied all 3.
Yeah.
Or was that Split?
I think that was Split.
Okay.
What was the other one? Hold on, I gotta look this shit up. Because I love James McAvoy. Oh god.
I heard he did really well in the remake.
Oh, did I not put that in here?
Uh-uh.
Speak No Evil. That was another one I fucking forgot. Speak No Evil, really well. Did really well. Jesus Christ, I'm forgetting all these fucking movies. Speak No Evil was everything about that movie was enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. He plays a great psycho.
He plays a great psycho. Oh my god.
Yeah.
James McAvoy. Let's see. He did Split. He did. Oh god. He did. What did he do? What did he needs to do me? The fuck. He was in It Chapter 2. He played the elderly Bill Glass.
Okay. That's what it was. Because Unbreakable is what's his name? Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Glass is
all 3 of them. Split is just let me see. Yeah, Split. So Split came out 2016, and then Glass. Oh, and then I didn't realize that he was also in Atomic Blonde, one of my other favorites. I need to watch the original Speak No Evil because I heard the ending is different for the Danish family. For this one, the third act was like heart racing. It was so good. The third act in Speak No Evil was so good. Once, like, I will say it takes a while to build this storyline. It takes a while to build Speak No Evil. Loved the cinematography. The majority of the film was natural nature shots outdoors. Really, really loved that. Really loved how they tied in the scenery to the plot of the film. Really love how they
a lot of tension between the
built
two
on
families.
A lot of tension between the two families. I love how they relied on nature.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many special effects, not too many visual effects. It was very just practical.
Yeah.
Really loved it. Really loved the mom, not the James McAvoy's side, but the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she did really good. Like the fun police mom. God,
Okay.
that was really good. Script was great. Funny, humorous, loved it.
Let's get into Nino's favorite fucking film of the whole year that he has seen. How many times have you seen it?
I think 3.
Okay.
I think 3.
And you got like 2 different times you did giveaways for it?
Once. Well, actually, the director of this movie also retweeted my giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the best movie of 2024, and if not the best horror movie I've probably seen in the last comfortably 10 years.
Which is funny, because you thought Immaculate wasn't going to be beat this year.
Oh, Immaculate was blown out of the water. I will say that this movie has entered my top 5, which has pushed The First Omen out of my top 10. We are talking about none other than The Substance.
That's Demi Moore.
Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, Dennis Quaid. Directed by Coralie Farge. It is an American script produced by a British production company, Mubi, directed by a French woman. It's the United Nations of cinema. of film. This movie is a perfect horror movie.
Oh.
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. Every single time. It officially has 1 million registered viewers on Letterboxd.
Wow.
It is the number 1 ranking horror movie on Letterboxd ever. It's gotten the most 5-star reviews out of any acceptable movie on Letterboxd.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because you can follow me on Letterboxd, bitch. The script was the best. It's the best fucking script. It makes perfect fucking sense. It paces it well. The movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It doesn't feel like it. I felt like I was in there for 15 minutes. I went to a press screening, and then I went to a studio sponsored screening, and then so I've only seen it twice. But then I did a giveaway because I'm like, I love this fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Love this fucking movie. For me to do a giveaway where I'm paying people to go, I'm not paying people to go see it. I'm paying for their ticket.
Yeah.
Script was immaculate. Fucking immaculate. Immaculate. You can tell there was some thought. You can tell women put their foot into the script. This was not a script written by... Maybe it was written by a man. I don't completely know, but you can tell women had a say in it. And it was for women about women.
Mm-hmm.
Acting was impeccable, start to finish. I was glued, top to bottom, left to right. Could not take my eyes off of the screen. I refused to go pee.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I was like, I can't fucking go pee. I can't go pee.
You can't miss anything.
If you are going to watch The Substance, the best time to go pee is right at the start of when Demi Moore's character is getting ready for her date.
Okay.
That's about midway. That's the best time to go pee. Also, that guy that Sue was like dating, and then they showed like a frontal of his perfectly shaped ass. Oh, God, that was good. I was like, ooh, one time for the gays. Such a good fucking movie. I mean, that is body horror. That is how you fucking do body horror.
It's someone trying to not age out, right? That's the whole point.
The whole point of the movie isn't about not aging out. The whole point of the movie is ageism and women.
Ah. And
Hollywood standards. And it was filmed in France.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you wouldn't be able to tell because it looked like LA.
And it dealt with like the workout videos.
Yeah, so it dealt with Elizabeth Sparkle, who has
Mhm.
been doing Sparkle Your Life with Elizabeth. She's been doing it since like the 70s, and all of a sudden the network, aka Dennis Quaid's character,
Okay.
said, you're aging out of the system. You're getting too old. We're losing viewers, and we need someone newer.
Mhm.
She hears that news, watches her toothpaste ad get ripped off of a billboard, goes into a car accident.
Oh no.
The nurse at the hospital is a nurse that's already on the substance. Tells her about it. She opts to do it. That's where Sue is born. 1 week, it's Elizabeth's body. 1 week, it's Sue's body. They are of the same consciousness. So there is no her, there is no me. It's an us.
Oh wow.
Margaret fucking Qualley. She was on the TV show The Maid. She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Mickey Madsen, with Margot Robbie. Hi.
Mhm.
Now look at them. She wore prosthetic titties. Because if you've seen Margaret Qualley, I hate to sound like a guy, but if you've seen Margaret Qualley in person, she
She
don't
didn't have.
have the boobies like that, but she wore some nice. She wore them. I was like, these are titties. I was like, damn, titties. Like that's literally how I felt. What storyline was original and daring and beautiful. I don't think anything like this has ever been done that I can recall.
Yeah.
The cinematography, I'd sell my family. I would sell my family for this cinematography. The shots were incomparable to anything else I've ever seen. It's the straight on shots. It's perfectly lit. It's color coded well. Oh, such a perfect movie. My husband and I were like, what did we just watch?
Right?
And then the third act goes full camp. Sue then takes the substance, but you're only allowed to use it once.
Oh.
Sue is a substance version of Elizabeth,
Mm-hmm.
but a substance version should not become or have their own substance version.
Oh.
The way they fucking did that shit. And the way they talk about hungry for fame and all of this, like... And also, Coralie Farge directed Revenge, the 2016-2017 movie about a girl who gets kidnapped by these guys who are like trying to pimp her out.
Yes.
That was a fucking movie.
That was wild.
And I think the budget for... So I just want to look at this really quick. So budget for the... Allegedly, the budget for the Substance movie was $17.5 million.
Wow.
Box office results for this. Damn. Box office results for The Substance on a limited release,
Mm-hmm.
$20 million.
Oh man.
It made back its budget.
It did. And a little over.
Yeah. Just in case anyone's ever wondering. I was telling this to McLeod, but it's not indicative. No, it actually did well.
Okay.
It did well. I mean, it again. It's still ranking in millions of dollars each week in the box office, and it's now on a super limited screen. Like it's
like only very limited like play times.
Yeah, it surpassed the $10 million mark in its second. Like, I mean, we're looking at it's going to be just fine, and people are going to buy it. And the PR packaging for this fucking movie was amazing. I wish I could like rewind time and watch The Substance for the first time again. That was the best fucking movie of 2024. That was the best movie I've seen since probably, I haven't been this excited about a movie that I can recall in a long time.
I was about to say, because you didn't do this earlier this year with even the ones you were raving about.
I didn't realize I was gonna. I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I get my press screening assignment for it, and I was like, okay, whatever, then I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
We end up fucking loving it. I end up seeing it twice in 1 week. I was like, I went up to my manager for the marketing thing. I was like, I'd see that again, and she goes, "Congratulations, you are." Mubi is buying out another
Done.
theater. I was like, "Fuck, dude!" And then, oh God, I could sit here and rave about The Substance. If in any capacity, if The Substance is still in theaters while you are listening to this podcast, fucking go see The Substance. I was literally posting about it every fucking day.
Yes, you were.
I just I love this movie so much. I love what it stands for. I love the fact that it's backed by women. I love the fact that it's a true story in terms of what women go through in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you think about it, they're always told like, "Oh, take this thing, take this pill, take this to look younger, take this."
Inject this into your skin.
It is a technically true story
Mm-hmm.
without the superfluation of the body horror.
Yes.
Did you see it?
I haven't seen it. I've seen everything you've talked about.
Greatest movie ever. Like,
I'm excited for when it drops for streaming. Like,
fuck, it's not going to be the same without a theater.
I know, but
this was a movie meant for theaters.
Yeah.
Like, honorable mentions: The Crow, even though it technically wasn't a horror.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Skarsgård. It's Bill Skarsgård, right?
Yep.
Such a good body.
My husband did watch that one you watched of his earlier this year, where he's the serial killer.
Oh, Boy Kills World.
Mm-hmm. He liked it.
So good.
He liked it a lot.
So Boy Kills World was good.
Yeah.
Obviously excited for Terrifier 3, which I've already seen twice now, possibly 3 times tomorrow.
Saving it for the kickoff. Q4.
Yeah, saving it for the kickoff. I'm not going to say much.
I had watched your recent post on Instagram of like the before after. Like McLeod was like geeking out. I was dying.
If you are going to go see Terrifier 3, or if you've already seen it, my only 3 words, this was the grossest part of the movie for me. The words shard and attic. Just remember that.
Okay.
It was the grossest shit. Everyone's like, that's not even that scary. I'm not talking about scary.
No, we're talking about gross.
I'm talking about gross. Because I was like, I literally was like, the scene goes on for like 2 minutes, and I literally was like, there's not a snowball's chance in fucking hell I'm watching this right now. And then I realized it's a Damien Leone film. Of course I'm watching it. Like, of course I'm fucking watching it. I just got my press screening assignment for Nosferatu. So excited for that. That's gonna be a good. That's what closes out Q4.
Mm-hmm. Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård. I'm excited to watch. There's a movie called Swallowed from 2023. I'm excited to watch.
Okay.
And there's another movie from 2023 called The Vordelak, which I needed to watch.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, we are at an hour and a half almost.
Almost.
And I love us so much. I have rehearsals in like 4 hours. But anything, oh my God, I can't believe it's like literally, I have to remember it's the season fucking finale.
I know. So first off, I want to give a shout out to everyone who came on as guests to our podcast.
Shout out to
you guys are amazing.
Yeah. Anne-Marie Green, Jose Prendes, Ethan Daniel Corbett.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe I get to say those names.
I know.
What?
And shout out to Ethan for all of the nominations that he and his films
Oh
have
my
gotten.
God, that's a talented motherfucker.
Yes. Yes, on the up
Like,
and up. I'm so excited for him.
Shout out to Dead Watch. Shout out to
Cross the Line,
Warrior Paranormal. Shout out to Kivana. Who else was here? I think that's it.
I think that was it. I feel like that was it. We have some people who are emailing in asking to be guests, so I'm going to go through them and we're going to see what we can do.
Shout out to Gabriel for always being an awesome supporter. Shout out to my friend Justa for winning a giveaway.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I know.
It's the wrap up of season fucking 1.
Yes.
Oh my God. Just so everyone knows, Chrissy and I are also going to stay in solid communication. We're not just going to come back in fucking January and like
just wing it.
Just so everyone's aware, Chrissy and I are friends outside of this. Like,
we text each other and we
text and we send each other memes. Shout out to Desi for being on our meme channel with like shout out to La Llorona for giving me so much good content. Like,
all of it.
All of the content.
Husbands for being so nice and supportive of allowing us to lock ourselves in our rooms for like 2 hours every Saturday.
Sometimes 4 hours at a time if it's a triple episode, which I will legally never do again.
No, 2 I think is our max.
2 is our max.
My brain broke.
I'm fucking 3, but shout out to shout out to like all the stories that we got to cover.
Shout out to YouRun for being so awesome.
Very special thanks to YouRun. Yes. Very special thanks to YouRun. Could not have done this all without your support. Shout out to our incredible audience. Thank you so much for interacting with us on all of the social medias. Thank you for participating and by listening to Paranormal Misfits podcast. This was my first time doing something like this ever. I started on this podcast as a guest.
And is now a host.
And am now co-hosting. Holy fucking shit balls, bitch, shit, fuck, shit, dick. I feel like that one guy, Bob Saget, like that's like...
Tourette's.
What? And honestly, though, a big thank you to Chrissy. A big thank you to Chrissy for doing a lot. It took me forever to realize what my role is as a co-host outside of the work that we do as co-hosts. I want to give a special shout out to Chrissy for doing all the recording, all the editing. We literally wouldn't have a podcast without you.
Aww.
Like truly.
Oh, thank you.
And shout out to your kids who interrupt you.
Shout out to the fur babies. Shout out to my neighbors who like to mow their lawn on a Saturday instead of a Sunday. Shout out to Nino for coming on and agreeing, because like originally when I asked, I was like, so not to pressure you or anything, but
not to pressure you, but like to pressure you, and we need to get this started. And like no, this has been one of the most insane opportunities. This is something that now my friends listen to regularly, that I listen to regularly, obviously. Fucking, are you kidding? I want to know what we talked about. We're not, this episode isn't coming out for 3 weeks.
I wouldn't know.
I want, bitch, I can't fucking remember. I'm so sorry. The moment we hit stop recording, it's amnesia for me. Like,
I listened to it and I'm like, oh shit, I left that in there.
No, seriously, I was like, she couldn't have edited that out. Like, a lot of the times I'm like, oh God, everyone's going to fucking hate me. But I come from the 90s and we don't do cancel culture. We just show up to your house and beat you up.
That's right.
But no, this has been an incredible experience. An incredible fucking experience. Bitch, my face is on t-shirts. What the fuck?
No.
Your face is on t-shirts.
On little pictures and magnets. Like I go to my fridge and I was like, look, it's my magnet.
What?
Exactly.
What? I have merchandise? Are you fucking kidding me? What insanity is this?
And we managed to do this across the country.
Ma'am, we're on 2 different coasts in across 3 different time zones we did this. Thank God we're also ending it now because then the time zone shift happens and I'm like, like, so I will say moving forward, we have a new outline coming up in season 2 and onward. We'll actually be doing seasons still, but we'll be taking longer breaks.
Yes.
Between parts 1 and part 2 of each season. So rather than us because right now we're taking like, I mean, for us, once we push this out and everything, we don't come back until January, and then first episode doesn't air until February of 2025. But moving forward, the format's going to be a little bit different. While we still work out, I don't want to say anything, and then we work out something different, and then oh God, I'm so excited for what's going to happen in season 2.
Yes. And guys, feel free. DMs, text messages if you have our numbers, if you're friends with us.
Yeah, don't find our numbers on the internet. Yeah. Don't do that.
What else? Email. Like, let us know what you want to hear. We are totally open.
We are so open. We are so we are agape. I'm just kidding.
Gosh.
Oh God. Purge the merch. It
Follow
helps
us
us.
on
It
social
really does.
media. And we won't stop posting on social media.
We won't stop posting on social media. Yeah. And feel free to I mean, like, follow us across all social medias. Like, help my TikTok out. Please. Holy shit. Is this so weird? This is it.
This is it for season 1.
This is it for season 1. Why is it like weird? Like, we still have more work. We have the most work to do. Like, we have season wrap-up shit we got to do. Like, for them listening, everyone's like, oh my God, it's over. For us, we're like, no, we still have like 3 weeks worth of like assignments to get through. Anything you want to say? Any final shout outs before we wrap up?
Not that I can think of. I think we shouted out quite a few. Oh, shout out to both my niece and my daughter. They are now religiously listening to our podcast.
Love it. Love it.
Just don't repeat what either of us say, please.
More specifically me, but like I agree. Oh my God. God, just shout out to Chrissy. Shout out to Chrissy for starting this. This is her baby that I've been adopted into this family. Thank you for just giving me a new adventure to my life.
It's been fun. It's so fun.
Genuinely.
I cannot wait to see what everything looks like next year.
It's going to be dope as fuck.
Oh my
God. Real quick plug though, if you are a business or brand and you want to talk about sponsorships in season 2,
yes,
email us at pmpsponsor@yahoo.com. That's pmpsponsor@yahoo.com. And with that, one final fucking time for now.
Right.
We'll be back. As if we don't have the power to like film 10 more episodes. We're also just tired. We do want to specify to people we've been doing this non-fucking stop since mid-March.
Yes.
We're in mid-October. We've been going 7 months solid. It's exhausting.
I can tell you, props to all of the podcasts that do it every week. 52 weeks out of the year. Can't be me.
Could not be me. Would not be me. No, because I need a fucking break.
Yes.
Like, fuck, I'm like getting teary-eyed, but I don't want to cry. Shit. Listen, for one final time, folks. We know you don't want to leave. But since you actually have to go, because we have to kind of go.
Right.
We actually have to go. Like,
I got shit to do today.
I got shit to do today. Listen, I gotta fucking choreo some shit that I barely even looked at.
Oh no.
Listen, we know you don't want to leave, but since you have to go, you might as well creep out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your